Have you ever wanted to make money so badly that it kept you awake at night, yet no matter how hard you tried, nothing seemed to change? No money, no connections, no opportunities, and no one willing to give you even a single chance. It feels like the world is moving forward, but you are standing still, watching everything pass you by. That feeling slowly turns into frustration, then doubt, and eventually fear about your future. But what if the real problem isn't what you lack? What if success doesn't begin with money, resources, or luck at all? What if the only thing standing between you and a completely different life is just one simple idea, an idea so small that most people ignore it? This is the story of a 16-year-old boy named Peter who had absolutely nothing. No savings, no guidance, no clear direction, and no safety net to fall back on. While others had options, he only had pressure. While others waited for chances, he was forced to create one. But what made Peter different was not his situation, it was the way he looked at it. Where most people saw limitations, he saw possibilities. Where others saw obstacles, he searched for hidden value. And in the middle of one of the darkest moments of his life, Peter discovered something powerful. Opportunity doesn't always arrive in perfect form. Sometimes, it hides in places people refuse to look. One evening, Peter stood in front of an empty cupboard, staring at it as if something might appear. Behind him, his mother sat quietly counting their last coins, her hands trembling with fear. Every small sound of metal hitting the table felt heavier than the last. In the corner, his little sister Emma slept, her face pale and weak, her stomach growling softly even in her dreams. It had been 3 months since his father died in a coal mine accident. 3 months since their world collapsed overnight. Without him, everything changed. The house that once felt warm now felt silent. The future that once felt stable now felt uncertain. And for the first time, Peter truly understood what it meant to have nothing. If this story hits you, follow now because the turning point is coming. Peter's father had always been different from the other miners. While most came home exhausted and silent, his father brought life into their home. After every long day, he would wear his apron and step into the kitchen as if he was entering another world. The smell of herbs, vegetables, and spices would slowly fill the air. The kitchen became a place of warmth, creativity, and connection. Cooking is an art, his father used to say. It's not about what you have, it's about what you do with it. He taught Peter everything: how to chop, how to taste, how to balance flavors. Those lessons were not just about food, they were about seeing potential in the simplest things. But now, those lessons felt distant. For months, the family survived on whatever they could find. Corn from their small plot, stale bread when they were lucky, and long nights filled with hunger. One night, his mother spoke softly, almost whispering, as if saying it too loudly would make it real. "We have enough for tomorrow." She paused, her voice breaking. "But after that, I don't know." Peter didn't respond, but something inside him tightened. He was only 16, yet he felt the full weight of responsibility pressing down on him. He knew he had to do something, but every option felt impossible, and every path seemed closed. The next day, Peter went out looking for work. He walked from place to place, asking for anything, any job, any opportunity, but every door led to the same answer: no experience, no skills, no position available. Each rejection felt heavier than the last. It wasn't just about work anymore. It felt like the world was telling him he didn't belong anywhere. By the time the sun began to set, Peter had nothing to show for his efforts. No job, no plan, and no hope. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind kept racing, searching for something, anything that could change their situation. Follow now because most people would have given up here. Unable to rest, Peter walked through the quiet streets of the town. Everything felt empty, almost lifeless. As he passed behind a grocery store, something unusual caught his attention. Boxes of vegetables were stacked near the back, ready to be thrown away. Wilted carrots, bruised tomatoes, overripe peppers. To anyone else, it was just waste, something worthless, something to ignore. But Peter stopped. He stared at those vegetables longer than anyone else would have, and then, suddenly, a memory surfaced. His father's voice echoed in his mind. Good ingredients don't need to be perfect, they just need respect. In that moment, something shifted. What others saw as garbage, he began to see as possibility. Before the sun rose the next morning, Peter stood in front of the grocery store, gathering the courage to act. His heart was beating fast, but he knew he had no other choice. He knocked on the door. The grocer opened it, looking slightly annoyed. What do you want? Peter took a deep breath. The vegetables you throw away. Can I have them? The man laughed. You want garbage? Peter shook his head. No, sir. I want to make something valuable. There was a brief silence. Then the grocer shrugged. Take whatever you want. It was a small moment, but it was the first door that finally opened. Peter spent the entire day sorting through the vegetables, carefully cutting away the damaged parts, saving everything that could still be used. His hands moved with precision, guided by everything his father had taught him. His mother watched him, confused. Peter, what are you doing? He looked at her and said quietly, I'm making Papa's soup. Her eyes filled with tears. But we don't have money for ingredients. Peter shook his head gently. We don't need money. We need Papa's recipe. In that moment, it was no longer about survival. It was about belief. Belief that something meaningful could still be created from almost nothing. If you believe ideas matter more than money, follow now. He borrowed a large pot from a neighbor and went to the hillside to gather wild herbs, exactly where his father used to take him. Every step felt familiar, like reconnecting with something he had almost lost. That night, he began to cook. Slowly, carefully, with full attention. He sautéed the vegetables until they softened, added herbs at the right moment, and let everything simmer gently. The smell began to fill the house. For the first time in months, the space felt alive again. Emma smiled. It smells like Papa, she whispered softly. And in that moment, Peter realized something powerful. He wasn't just cooking food, he was bringing back hope. The next morning, Peter prepared everything carefully. He poured the soup into jars he had collected and cleaned from discarded items. Each jar was polished until it looked new. In the town square, he set up a small fire and placed his pot on top. Then he wrote a simple sign, first bowl free, pay what you think it's worth. People walked past, curious but hesitant. Some looked, then continued walking. Others stopped for a moment, unsure. Peter stood there quietly, trying to stay confident despite the uncertainty. He knew this was his chance, not just to earn money but to prove that what he created had value. Eventually, one person stopped. Mrs. Smith, an elderly woman, approached slowly. Peter offered her a bowl. His hands were slightly shaking, but his voice remained calm. Please, try it. She took a spoonful, then another. Her expression changed. This is real food, she said softly. She placed coins into his jar more than he expected. That small moment changed everything, because it wasn't just about the money. It was about validation.